So a quick run through of the code that we are currently working right now. So yeah, here just a small overview. We've created three cases for login, register, and about and exit. So basically, what we want to achieve here is how do we make sure that every time we do register is we can hash the password. So that's our target for this session. We will be able to hash the password, not only hash the password, but we could also use it during login. Every time we will try to log in, we will try to rehash that password. Now, another one that we will do today, since the code itself is quite long as it is, so what we will do is we will try to segregate these actions based on dashboard. One example is the admin dashboard. The admin dashboard is quite long as it is, so there's going to be a lot of things that's going to happen soon in the specific dashboard of admin, since admin supposed to be have a lot of functionalities or processes that it needs to be embedded or included in its dashboard since it's admin. So mo na tong buhaton, we will try to somehow do or create a separate class for the action for this specific admin. Okay, so that's two things. Now, as a quick overview, we will also be doing to check the current collab, Google Colab that we have. I've already added the code from the last session, which is fetching records and how to use the fetching records. So hopefully you get to understand this one. Now what I added here is the password hashing and how to use the hash in login, how to use the hashing in register, and the last and yeah, how are we going to use this hashing. So this is the first thing that I'll be implementing in this program. Now, going back to NetBeans, what I will do is I want to implement the hashing as early as now. So before we do login, if you try to see the code, there's registration that needs to happen first. So that's case number 2. So I'm just gonna find case number 2 and it's here. So I think we just have to first go to the config file. In the config file, right under fetch records, we will try to get the method for hashing the password. The name of this method is hash password. So I'm just gonna go and copy this whole code right here, and I'm gonna paste this code in our app. No, so go to main balik, and then no, go to connect config, and then you just have to paste the code here. So the name of this function is hash password, and it has a parameter of the password that's going to be hashed. So here's what will happen. Going to back to main. Here's what we will do. I have actually an example on how to implement during registration. So in registration part, what we will do is we will just going to create a variable named hashed password, given that we're going to give the argument as password coming from the input of the user. So here, since our input is we're using pass, what we will do is we're going to create a variable named string hashed pass is equals to con that we're going to get, wait, I haven't saved the connect yet, so I'm gonna save this file. Now it's saved. I can now fetch that. I can now fetch the function hash code. Was it hash code? No, it wasn't hash code. So I used the function hash password. So let me clear this comment. I want to see the current. Okay, here. So here's what I will do. String hash password is equals to, we will call this, since this is string, no, so is equals to con dot, hopefully I get to find hash password, hash password right here. Just gonna follow this. And then hash password. Let me check the error. Cannot be given types. String, no arguments found. I'm gonna give the argument pass. Okay, so there's a warning. Okay, that's accessing a static method. How about public string na lang? I-declare na lang na to siya as public string. Save that one to avoid warnings. Okay, so variable password will hash never read. So yeah, we can now use this hash password instead of doing pass. What we will use is hash password. So here, when we run the program, I'm just gonna open the SQLite. Wait, let me locate where is it saved. It's currently saved in desktop copy, and I'm gonna use open SQLite Studio. Yeah, so it's here, and we're going to try and check if the data that will be saved is hashed password. So I'm just gonna go to data and then try to see, we have currently 4 accounts with the same password. So let me go back to the application. Let's run this program and let's execute the registration. To Mike test, that's an admin, password is 1234. And when I try to check back to our database, refresh the table, then here's what I mean by password hashing. It doesn't allow us to read the password since it's a password, obviously. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna delete these existing records, and then I'm gonna save this. And as you see, we only have one account for admin, and I'm gonna make sure this is approved since I will be using this account as the dedicated admin. So I'm just gonna use an email admin for kuha na lang siya. Tingog login is 1234, then password is 1234. So yeah, here's what will happen when I click yes and try to log in that account. Let's say admin 1234. It's going to be invalid credential. I will show you why is it invalid credential. So in the login process, which is in case 1, here in login process, I want to show you here first that why is it invalid credentials. Please try again. So I'm gonna display here the record in which allows us to get the password. So I'm gonna create, this is for the sake of demo, I'm gonna create, let's say pass, PSS for password. I'm gonna get the U pass. Now using that U pass, I will try to print that string password in invalid credentials. So here, where was that? Invalid credential. I'm gonna print the PSS. Hopefully it gets to, okay, cannot find PSS, so I'm gonna make sure that it's accessible outside here. I'm gonna get this. So it's already here. Okay. Now, hopefully, wala sa error sa ubos. PSS is equals to this. Okay. So, I will show you something that even though my password is correct, that was admin, G4, invalid credential, please try again. Let me check back again. Invalid credential, please try again. There were no display. Let me try this. I'm just going to check if this really works. Run the code. Say login, admin. Okay, it's printing, but it doesn't retrieve the account since it doesn't. It's empty if it's not empty. So, yeah, we cannot do that since there's no existing account. So we gotta have to move this one later. I'm gonna show na lang before after logging in. So, how do we make sure that it's going to log in? As you know, let me fix that na lang. As you know that the current password is already hashed, then how do we make sure that the one that we're going to compare during retrieving the record will also match with what the user is inputting? So here's what we will do. In this part, I'm just gonna remove na lang this since it's used. I'm gonna display na lang that. So since yeah, I'm gonna remove this na lang. It's useless man sad kay we cannot retrieve unless it's correct. So that's why I'm gonna remove this na lang. So what we will do is every time that the user is inputting the password, what we will do is I'm gonna declare a hash pass is equals to, we will get the con that hash password and we're gonna type ps. Then using this password, we will use this hash pass variable. We will use the hash pass variable to send that as parameter. So that if the user input correctly the password, it will retrieve that password and it will display that password. I know it will match that record. So here, when we run the program and I try to execute admin 1234, so it will log in successfully. No, because what we did is the password we type, we convert it into a hash version, which is this one. So if we're going to try and type a different account, no, let's say it's login successful, so it redirects us to the Dashmin dashboard. So let's say 5, and then let's try and log in again using the same email but with a wrong password. Then it's going to create it's going to say invalid credential, because we need, during registration we need to hash, and during login we also need to hash, so that if the hash password will match to the record that exists in the table, it will return that value and it allows us to log in. So yeah, that's it. That's how you hash. Again, let me run through back para unsay akong gibuhat makita ninyo. Sa registration, ga-add ra kog string hashed pass, and then using this variable isod na ako ang katong mga value nga gihash na sa ato ang function. Then mao ang ma-save sa database. Then pag login, ga-add ra sa ko og code. Pag login, nag-add lang ta og code dire or hash pass, which what we used to fetch the record, to fetch an existing record of that hashed record. No, so dali ra, as long as naa lang dire ang hash password nga function. Now another one is how do we segregate the function of an admin? So it's actually easy. So as you see, this is the account type admin. So what I will be doing, I'm gonna create here a class, and I will name this class as admin. Yeah, I'm just gonna click finish. Since we have now an admin, So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a function. It's either a function or you can create this as a main class. But here's the most easier version to do this, or to make it more like concise to what we want to achieve, is usually you have to break this down, Manggut. You have to break this down on a level that dali ra siya masabtan. Since what we have here, since we have view users, view students, and view subjects function, we need to achieve that first. So in the admin, in this if, take note, this is the open and this is the close. So what's inside this if statement, I'm gonna get everything. Kuhaon na ako tanan. So that's actually coming from here, which is admin padong na diri. So the last one is the here. So I'm gonna cut this and I'm gonna put that on the admin. But take note, it's gonna cause error, no? Since we are working directly with a class, not a method. So here's what I will do. I'm gonna create a function. I will name this as public void admin, and I'm gonna paste it inside. Okay, so here I'm gonna clean this one like that. So first thing is we're gonna need to fix these errors. First one is SC. Okay, let's fix the SC. I think you already know how to fix SC. We're just gonna call scanner SC is equals to new scanner system.in. Make sure to import that one. Okay, now SC is now fixed. Now another one is con. Take note, con belongs to DB or the config that we have right now. So what I'm gonna do is I'm also gonna declare here the config, or mine is DB connect. DB or con is equals to new DB connect. Make sure to import the config or the DB connect. And sir, how do we fix the existing function? You're just going to go to main, find this function, view students, and I believe I created all of them here. So to do this, I'm gonna get view students, view subjects, and everything here. And I'm gonna move that into the admin. Make sure to call the function inside the class but outside the admin function. So yeah, actually these are the view subjects, no view user. You can just like literally create maybe another class for all the view statements para dynamic na lang sad siya, then magamit sad siya sa main. But yeah, that's for later. Now let's prioritize to make sure that the one for admin, the account for admin is dili na taas ang code. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna call admin ad, or admin is equals to new admin, and using admin I can call admin that the admin function, which is actually the current function that we're trying to achieve. Save that one when we run, and if I'm gonna log in the admin, I forgot the email, no, it was admin, then 1234, then it will still display the same actions. And when I click view users, it will still view all the users available. Okay, so yeah. Sir, can we also do that? Since we have two account types, sir, can we also do that for teacher? Yes, you can also do this for teacher. What you have to do is, again, you're just gonna have to create a new class. You're gonna name this into a teacher class. And as that teacher class, we're gonna create another function inside this teacher. It's basically a constructor of this class, no? And then once we have the teacher, then we're just gonna get, no, not the admin. Let's go back to main, and in teacher, if diri unclose, so we're going to get all these cases. And let's go back to teacher, paste that inside. Same error as C. So what we need to do is scanner sc is equals to new scanner system dot in. Make sure to import and then save. And then what we need to do when we go back to main is we're just gonna call the, instead of admin, I'm gonna call teacher is equals to new teacher, and using teacher object we can call teacher. That's it. No, so yeah, not only that we were able to do registration, but at least na minimize na ang codery pag abot sa admin processing and teacher processing. So let's say if I'm gonna register a teacher, let's say Mike, and ito teacher, this is a teacher, and password is teacher. The registration successful. We're gonna wait for the approval of the admin. Let's assume we've approved this teacher. Saved it. No. Yes, approved. Okay, and then save it. Then if we're going to log in the teacher, say 1, teacher, then password is teacher, it will still go to teacher dashboard. No, so yeah, that's how you segregate methods into classes. Yeah, so I think that's it for this recording, and hopefully you get to implement this as well in your system. Thank you and keep safe.